Yo, what's up? How are you? How you doing? My name's Anthony, and this is Mitigating Madness. Before we get started, I'd really like to ask you for a favor. Hit that like button. I think there's a hype button. Hit the hype button. Subscribe, share it. Hell, follow me on Instagram if you'd like. That's pretty much the only thing I use aside from YouTube, where I just binge everything all day. Feel free to also follow me on Instagram. You can find me at _ Tony Ojeda, TonyOjeda. You'll see a bunch of art, drawings, doodles, and the likes on there. You'll know it's me. All right. Now, aside from that, I guess we can get started. So where did we leave off? If I remember correctly, I had just gone upstairs. I don't remember if it was to get something or to change. I'm pretty sure it was to change, though. And so I start hearing what sounds like sniveling and crying outside the door, which, let's say, okay, you guys can't see it, but my door is like an arm's distance away, right? Maybe 2. Let's say that, maybe a little bit more. It's like 3-4 feet away from the door. And it's dark, but it's daylight outside. That's what I'm saying, though. It's like this floor, no light got in. There was open windows everywhere, but it always seemed dark. So what happens? I check this noise out. And by the way it sounded, I would have sworn there was going to be someone sitting right outside the doorway, but nothing. And mind you, remember, there are no doors here. There are doorways, plenty of doorways. There's no doors. Maybe a curtain, like a blanket hung up. And there's 3 other rooms, but they're all vacant. And it felt like something was observing me. Like, if any of you have ever had the feeling when you know someone is staring at you, that's what I was feeling in there. And so I booked it. There's that giant front-facing wall that should have been seeing me, that should have been closing off the whole level, the whole floor, wasn't there. So remember, you could just see out into the patio. The patio was 1 floor beneath, so you just kept walking, you would just fall. 1 floor, but still plenty. And so I'm looking at that, and I can hear everybody, but at the same time they sound so distant. And that's probably adrenaline. I'm running, I'm booking it. I'm looking at my options as I'm running down this dark hall, because mind you, I've turned and I'm looking down at the floor. There's nothing there. I can feel being seen. And if I look forward, there's just this doorway, right? There's this hallway of darkness. Just as you exit the hallway, to the right is where that staircase is, with the closet up top where I saw the shadow figure kind of crouching. Not right now. So I'm running, and in that split second, I'm thinking, I really don't want to turn and see that thing again. But I'm not really up for running off this ledge right now, at least. So let me go ahead. So I think, let me just take that right, head down the stairs, go downstairs, and, meet up with everybody. And that's what I did. I caught up, and everybody's looking at me kind of funny, like for a split second, because they're just like, man, why are you out of breath? But at the same time, they're so enthralled in their own thing that they're just not worrying about it. Fine. And to be honest, neither did I. I genuinely sat there and I thought to myself, you know what, Anthony? It's been 2 days, a day and a half, 2 days. If this is the worst that it gets, then this is the worst that it gets. You still got 2 weeks of vacation. Enjoy it. Wasn't the case. Now, cut to a couple days later. In the midst of all this, I'm getting hit with horrible dreams, nightmares. But it felt like an emotional attack. I would start feeling what felt like people sitting on my bed, which at that point in my life, at least, wasn't too new of a sensation. Wherever I'd lived, wherever I'd moved to throughout my youth, I'd always get the sensation of someone was sitting in my bed. I'd see shadow people, etc., etc. But it's all hitting, and I'm like, God damn, this place must be charged, because this stuff happens back home, but it doesn't happen with such frequency. Then on top of that, I keep the sounds of crying, of sniveling, the sounds of whispering. All of that continued, and I thought I was going crazy because it seemed like I was the only one that was at least reacting to it. My sister's godmother's family was there saying, like, oh, we don't really have too many issues around here. I mean, the other properties in the family, the other places, they're scary, they're spooky. Us, we're fine. They were wrong. The other houses, yeah. Ours, nah, not for nothing. So we go out a few times. They're showing us around town. And at one point, we forgot our keys. We didn't realize this. I think we had gone out to some long as hell drive to some natural springs, vacation stuff. That's besides the point. You don't need to hear anything about that. I did get trapped in a porta potty. If you want to hear that story, I'll tell you some other time. Just let me know in the comments. But this is about the ghosts, so we stick to the ghosts. We go out, we have the time of our lives, right? Yada, yada, yada. We're swimming, we're tired. We get home. Everything's locked. Shit. Think of it like this. We've got, if you're looking at it from the side, this is that patio space. This is the wall and the first floor. Second floor, that's where we're staying. There's windows here and here. We had to come in through here. So, we get back, and we get locked out. Sun is setting, and at this point, it's pretty dark. It's that twilight zone where it's not quite dark enough to not see outside, but if you're anywhere with shading, it's pitch black. They go, okay, who can get up there? Who can get up there? And I volunteered because I was the most nimble. I was in pretty decent shape at the time. I was pretty athletic. So we climb up the side of the house. Well, I do. I figure, just unlock the doors. I get up there. Now, where this ladder is going to leave me is right where I showed you on there, is going to be the second floor, their floor, right next to where that non-existent wall is. And I'm up there, and immediately I get chills, and I feel, mind you, I've been having a good time all day. I knew people were right there. There's no reason to feel that I'm alone. I felt like I was separated the moment I stepped over the boundary that was the wall and that floor. But I'm just walking because I'm like, nah, we got to get through this because I can just sit here and whatever's there is going to get me, or I can go. When I tell you, it sounded like something was moving in the area where my room was, like shuffling. And then I could just barely make out the entrance to the hallway as I'm looking. It's pitch black. And I hear breathing. And I hear shuffling. And then I hear a quick movement that sounds closer to me, that's coming towards me. And I damn near shat a brick right there. My pants were about 20 pounds heavier. Everything I ate in the last 4 months evacuated. I turned and I ran. And I didn't go down the stairs. I kept running as if that second floor expanded beyond the house. I ran to the point I could feel my legs just going in midair. Damn near sprained my ankles, both of them. Because I remember one halfway rolled, but I'm thinking to myself, you know what, Anthony, you do martial arts. You could do like a superhero landing, So I tried that. It hurts like an ass. Don't do it. I ran to those metal gates, and I undid them so quick. They could hear me on the other side, too. I remember because they walked in laughing. If you got Mexican family, you know what it is. They're just going to tear you apart for everything. So they're laughing. They're making the little jokes. And then I think they saw me because, I refused to stay in the house. They came in. And I just went, nah, and walked out to the street. I stood there for about half an hour. I refused to go inside. Everybody's asking. I'm like, My sister comes out. She asked me because she's the only one that takes it sort of seriously with me. And I told her what it was. I told her, just give me 10 minutes now. I'll be in. We end up having dinner and everything. And this is where I feel whatever was there was gunning for me no matter what. And it was making its move, and I had escaped it once. We finish up with the night. We go upstairs to sleep. So I get get upstairs, get comfortable, get in bed, go down. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Day's over. You got scared today, Anthony? It's what it is. Go to sleep. And that night, everything that I mentioned, the whispering, the crying, the entity sitting on my bed, something moving me, all of that is happening tenfold that night. And I'm just sitting there like, what did I do? What did I do to you? Llorona, Diablo, whoever's out there, whatever's out there, what did I do to you? So I wake up And it seemed like a sense of sleep paralysis, but not quite all the way. Because I had this little trick my mom showed me when I was a kid, because I used to get it a lot. And she goes, just first start off by twitching and moving the tips of your fingers and your toes. And little by little, you'll start getting motion back. And I tried that, but I had full motion right up the top. So I was like, fuck, this isn't sleep paralysis. I'm just terrified. I was turned like this on my side, and I was facing. So I'm moving. And yeah, so I'm moving. And I'm facing, I'm on my side, looking off the bed. I'm at the edge of the bed. Right above me, so technically if I'm sitting up to my right, there's a window letting in some moonlight. And I turn and I open my eyes. And my eyes are right aligned with the edge. And all I see is this. I see what looks like a head or a dark round shape, but with like smooth hair. Right here. And my head is right here. And then, little by little, it is probably like what? A couple seconds. This is someone standing up, but it looks slow motion to me. And I start seeing this. And I see what looks like somebody not standing up, somebody being hoisted up. Because I couldn't see shoulders moving, I couldn't see the head dipping. You know, it didn't look like somebody was getting up. It looked like somebody was already standing. And they're just, without moving, just straight up being pulled up, full body, right next to the bed. And it looked like layers of darkness. Layers of shadow, whatever you want to call it. Each level was distinguishable while remaining indistinguishable at large. Like, next to it, I could see layers of maybe cloth. I could see the hair. The hair was parting towards the end, kind of flowing a little bit. But if you weren't paying attention, it was just one black shape. Solid. Nothing. And I couldn't scream. I couldn't make a noise. I remember I looked up and I'm looking at the light, the little bit of light coming in from the window. And it's wrapping around whatever this is. Like, somehow the light hitting this dark shape is only showing how much darker it is. I just remember in my mind saying, no. Because in my mind, I'm saying, whatever you are, go away. Like, I'm not dealing with this. Go away. Stop. And it's not listening. Usually, and it was a little more aggressive than that. I wasn't cursing or anything, but I was letting it know. It was what my grandma showed me. Like, you always have to speak to these things as is. Don't joke. Don't be rude, but you don't have to be friendly. Let it know this is a space you occupy, and it's not welcome there. And for the most part, it works, but this one was not. And so, what did I do? I sat up, I got up, and in this room, I'm not sure if I mentioned before, but it was my bed that was facing the door, which is why I could see everything. So my feet were towards the door, which is already a big no-no apparently. And it's my bed facing that, and then on the opposite end of the room, it's a pretty big space, was my sister's bed. She had like a queen or a king size. I had a little what was it? Little singles, little double. And I just go and without saying a word, I just go lay down, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And I just go, "Hey, just going to sleep." And I just remember staying there awake up until I just couldn't, and I just passed out at a certain point. But yeah, after that, I think that was the moment where whatever was there realized, like, okay, I got whatever I need out of you, or I'm not gonna get you. Pretty soon after that, my sister took me to get cleansed by little bruja out in the little town far away from where we were. And I remember this lady cracked me up. She comes to the door. She was super nice, but she's coming at me, yelling a bunch of what to me sounded like gibberish. I'm sure it's a language that I just don't know. But she's spraying 4 different types of holy water on me. She's burning herbs, which I'm with. And she starts taking an egg and cleaning me and cracks it. And I just hear, she's like, no, it can't be. Talks to my sister. My sister goes, no, it can't be. Come back. Rub another egg on me. Crack it. Oh my god. Come back. Rub another. They rubbed like 3 or 4 eggs on me, and each one of them came out black. But this lady freaked out. She made me throw the eggs. She's like, hey, look. These yolks. Throw them. Get rid of them. But not here. Typically, you can do them in my backyard. Nah, no, not today. Go to the field. Throw them as far as you can. I want it as far away from my house. X, Y, and Z. Alright. We did that. And I'm not going to lie. The trip ended up being pretty chill from there on out. So maybe there was something to it. Maybe I did get cleansed. Maybe those eggs took my evils away, my sins away, at least for that moment, because so much has happened since then. So either that stuff is a natural reservoir for me, where I just get natural dark energy coming out, or I just do enough. I just made enough terrible choices in my life to where negative energy likes to attach itself. In any case, I think I've made just as many positive choices in my life. So it's going to balance out. And it will. And it will. But yeah. Thank you for sitting down, listening to this little story with me. Definitely going to be doing some more. I don't know if it's going to be all like sharing my own experiences. But we are for sure going to be sitting down and looking at the creepy, the weird, the unexplainable that's all over, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Most of my social media space, time feed, if it's not art or film related, it is videos of Mothman, Bigfoot, ghosts, the high strangeness of like dimensional rifts opening up in the forest. I'd like to tackle something with like Skinwalker Ranch. And again, I don't know if this is going to be something where I'm like, oh no, let's do a deep dive on whatever topic, but I just want to talk about the weird shit that I see, because the world is crazy and I need an escape. So escape with me. Follow me on this account, not like as a person. Don't follow anybody. Hit that follow, subscribe, whatever it's called. Hit the hype button, like button, share it. Comment down below if you got a story that rocks with mine, or a story of your own, experience of your own. If you want to share, if you're okay with me talking about it on here, then cool. Join me and help grow this with me. This has been Mitigating Madness. My name's Anthony. Oh, follow me on Instagram. _Tony Ojeda, TonyOjeda. When you see a page full of art, and yeah, pretty much just that, you'll know it's me. Shoot me a follow, hit me up there if you'd like. Until next time.